Hey everyone, welcome back to Open Remote. So, COVID 19 has greatly impacted New York City with staggering numbers of approximately 6,600 NYCHA residents being diagnosed positive and living in such dense quarters, having to deal with elevator outages, lack of sanitation, increased presence of rats and pests, all in the midst of a global pandemic. So, in response to this ongoing issue, the Holmes-Isaacs Coalition launched the hashtag Fund NYCHA Now social media video campaign calling on NYCHA residents across the city to document their experience living in NYCHA. Joining us to tell us more, we welcome Holmes-Isaacs Coalition co-founders Saundrea Coleman and Keesha Taylor. Hello, ladies. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello,
Hello, how are
greetings.
you?
Glad to
Hi,
be
how are
here.
you?
Yeah, we both spoke at the same time. It's all good. We're going to make the most out of this. So, let's start with the inspiration behind forming this coalition. Who would like to speak on that first?
We can kind of share it, I guess. I could
Okay.
speak a little. Can We've been doing this work together and with others since 2015, when NYCHA decided to start Next Gen and start an infill project or proposed infill project on Holmes Towers grounds. And we just been very involved in pushing back because we wanted to be able to conserve and keep our land, keep our air, preserve the playground. And it was it was about a lack of funding. They claimed that would make a difference, but that wasn't the case. And we just stayed on the front lines since 2015, and that's how the coalition can form. I could let Lakeisha add on to that.
Okay.
Thank you, Saundrea. So we noticed that Saundrea, myself, and another member, Jose Guerrero, were the same three people who were always there. And we said, you know what? We really need to form a coalition. We need to connect and make sure people know that we have power and we need to speak up. So in that, we decided that we were going to solidify this and make the Holmes Isaac Coalition, combining Holmes Towers and Isaacs together, and inform people about their power to fight against NYCHA and let them know you have power, you can stand up and know your rights. And in that, we collaborated with Take Root Justice and our officials and people at the Justice Center to form and fight to stop the building of a 50-story tower that they tried to build on our playground.
Right. Meanwhile, the actual establishments themselves need all kinds of renovation and sanitation for that matter.
Exactly. This is the lie in which that NYCHA and the federal government try to tell you that they do not have money, but they continue to defund NYCHA while they continue to fund the police department and fund wars and things of that nature. While the citizens are, we don't have hot water, we don't have elevators, and we suffer. But yet, when you build a coalition like ours, you can fight against these things.
And so the coalition was formed in 2019. What kind of results have you seen since forming it?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Okay, so somebody's, yeah, well, we're dealing with a pandemic, we're dealing with protests, we're dealing with police all over the place. I'm hearing a lot of sounds in the background. So it is what it is in the middle of our interview. But what I was saying is, you formed this coalition in 2019, and since forming it, what kind of results have you seen?
Well,
Oh,
we
thank you.
actually were able to, because we work with elected officials. Thankfully, since 2015, Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, Ben Kalos, Dan Court, to name a few, Manhattan Borough President, they have all stood alongside us. And we actually launched our HP Action, Housing Parts Action lawsuit December 13th to file for repairs in our common areas and in our apartments. So us just gaining traction, doing actions. We've done presses, we've done press conferences in front of City Hall. We marched to Gracie Mansion. We've always been advocating for funds, and we have other allies along with us, and Lakeisha could continue on if she wants
Thank
to
you.
piggy on it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
With that, we've gained notoriety, and we become a force to be reckoned with. And basically, with that, we let them know that we're not going to stand for this injustice. We continue to fight. We continue to inform our tenants and let them know that this is what we stand for. And with that, NYCHA knows that we are the people who are going to stand up. And that's what you need to know. This is what tenants need to know. And it's, you have to join forces with your public officials. You have to be able to stand up. And through this HP action, we are informing NYCHA that this is not acceptable.
Right.
It is a shame that people have to fight and go to court in order to get the repairs that it is in our lease that we are guaranteed. And this is what people need to understand. You are guaranteed these rights by federal law. This is what NYCHA is supposed to give you. But by filing an HP action, this is what holds them, this is what binds them. And this is what people need to fight for.
So coming together as a unit, how many of you are there all together that have formed this coalition? I mean, obviously you ladies are the co-founders. You mentioned someone else who I believe is a lawyer, right?
Oh, no, he is not.
No, he's not a lawyer. Oh, you work with the justice centers that have the lawyers.
Yeah.
Right.
They're two separate groups. The Justice Center and Take Root Justice are two separate entities that have come to help us in filing this HP action.
And so,
and Ben Kalos, our city council member Ben Kalos, actually funded the fees for the lawyers, so he took care of the lawyers for us.
So, and this is government housing, isn't it?
Yes.
And so right now they're concerned with getting everyone tested when there's all these repairs and all kinds of things that need to be addressed within the establishment. But yet, right now everyone is getting sick. I'm sure.
Yes.
So the lack of sanitation and all of that plays a role.
Exactly.
And the upkeep of the actual establishment. And so, but how are you ladies enrolling more people to come to the forefront and be a voice and stand together?
Well, being involved in your community, being that piece, the people right on the front lines out there. We're actually out there. We handed out masks. We do that. We are informing people. I'm doing work with Census 2020. Which is very important, letting residents know. We speak about the disinvestment, but you have to get counted, which is very important. So raising that awareness and just having our boots on the ground and checking with our neighbors. We did a lot of door knocking in the past, and we still do. We put out information. We stand outside and speak to residents. We have several meetings. We do Zoom meetings. I mean, it's all about being informed. A lack of knowledge is, it is what it is. It's ignorance. It's not a bad word, but if you don't know, you don't know. And
Right.
We have to educate our people and also get them involved to be civically engaged, because you have to vote. Voting is very important. So we are engaging our neighbors and beyond. And that's what's going to make the difference, is getting them involved. And also, if they can't make certain meetings and stuff, still giving out the information. That's one of the key issues I found in different NYCHA developments, that if you don't attend certain meetings, you don't know what's going on. But it's still, the word needs to be passed on. And we are like living testaments. We're telling people and informing them.
Got it. And so before we go, let's share the details behind the campaign, because this is it. We only have a few like a minute, and I want to make sure that people are engaged in the campaign that you guys initiated online.
Right. Well, it's a fun NYCHA campaign, and during the coronavirus, everything has exacerbated and it got worse. So we're highlighting residents, taking videos of them, and we're asking people throughout the city to share and highlight their issues in NYCHA. And it's like a 60-second video that we can put out. Lakeisha can jump in as well.
Right, because what if people are embarrassed, and now they're they're publicizing it. However, you have to show in order to get things done, right? So it's a fine line. It's kind of tricky, wouldn't you say?
Well, that's the thing, and that's what we need to do. We need to take the stigma away from public housing, because that's the problem that we had. I'm also a member. I'm a fellow from the Movement School, which gives power to being a person who grew up in public housing. We have to take the stigma away. You pay 30% of your income. You earn that income. You earn the right to say you live in public housing. This is not a handout. So it is okay. It is not your fault that your apartment is falling apart. It is not your fault that you have mold. It is not your fault that you live with rodents. And it is okay to say. It is sad that this is the way that we have to go on social media to beg to the public, to beg on TV, to let them know that my house is falling apart. But these are the tools in which that we must use to let them know that this is happening. So we are asking the public, we are going to different public developments, and we are saying, we have already had our neighbors, we are letting them know, you give 30 seconds, you say, my name is, I am from, and this is what is happening. Coronavirus is happening in public housing because NYCHA has left us behind, because NYCHA has disinvested in our lives. We have to let them know. My 8-year-old son has said he's afraid to go into the elevators. Because why? Because we were stuck for 15 minutes. These are the things that are happening in our lives, and it is okay. It is not your fault. You have paid your 30%. We have to let them know it is okay.
And you know what, ladies? I want to say thank you for being a stand.
Thank you.
Providing this platform. Saundrea Coleman, and Keesha Taylor. Thank you so much for spearheading this. And you guys, I want to say, to participate in the campaign, you got to make sure to take a picture or a video and hashtag Fund NYCHA Now. And to be part of the coalition, you can follow them on at Holmes-Isaacs on Twitter. All right, don't go anywhere. Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.
Thank you.